By the way, you might see me squinting a little bit. Right now, I'm in a place called Raja Ampat, Papua, in the far eastern part of Indonesia. So let me turn the camera where you can see the sun is coming right at me. Before talking about Vietnamese, I want to make one important point. Not all languages use pronouns the same way, which is obvious if you speak multiple languages. In English, you must say the pronouns I, you, he, she. In Spanish, pronouns are often dropped because the conjugation of the verb already tells you who's doing the action. In Japanese, pronouns are dropped even more aggressively, even though Japanese verbs don't conjugate for person at all. In fact, in Japanese, using pronouns often sounds unnatural or even rude. Now, here's a key contrast. Vietnamese is the opposite of Japanese. In Vietnamese, if you want to speak naturally, especially politely, you usually must choose a pronoun. And that pronoun choice is never neutral. When people think of complicated pronouns, they often think about gender. Some languages like Turkish or Farsi don't differentiate gender in third person singular like in English he or she. Or people might mention case endings. When in English we have I, me, and my, but in most Slavic languages you have at least 6 different forms of the pronoun depending on the grammatical function in the sentence. And then you have issues with verb agreement. But Vietnamese pronouns are complicated for a completely different reason. They are complicated because they encode social relationships. Every time you say I or you are forced to decide who is older, who is younger, what is our relative status socially, how close are we, what is the social setting at that time. Pronouns in Vietnamese are not just grammar, they're social positioning. There is no single safe word for you. This is the first big shock for most learners. In English, you works everywhere. In Vietnamese, there is no universal safe you, as I just said. Vietnamese does have bạn, meaning friend, and beginners are often taught tôi, bạn, so I, you. But in real life, bạn can sound distant or oddly formal or emotionally flat. In polite everyday Vietnamese, speakers usually avoid a generic you altogether. Instead, they use kinship terms or social roles. And this happens constantly. For example, even when you say hello to an older male, hello to an older female, hello to a younger person, not distinguishing between male and female, hello to a significantly older adult. It's the same greeting with different pronouns, different social meanings. Kinship terms are the core of the system. This is where Vietnamese stands apart. Pronouns are family terms used with strangers. Some of the most common are older brother, older sister, younger sibling, aunts and uncles. But it doesn't stop there. The language distinguishes family relationships far more precisely than English does. For example, there are different words for father's older brother, father's younger brother, mother's older brother, mother's younger brother. Each one carries age, lineage, respect level, and these same words are used as pronouns in daily speech. So when you choose a pronoun, You're implicitly placing the older person into a family hierarchy. Age is the most important determining factor. It's very important to get this right. Age hierarchy is the foundation. This does not change casually just because people become closer. You don't usually flip M into ang or ang into M. Now, this is very confusing. The same pronoun can mean either I or you. So here's where it really stretches the brain. Words like older brother, older sister, younger sibling are not fixed to grammatical person. They're just relationship labels. The same word can mean I or you, depending on who is speaking. So if you call me older brother, when I say I say older brother. If I call you younger sibling, for yourself, you say younger sibling. So you see it means both I and you.
How I and you become the same word. Ang. An older man uses ang to mean I. The younger person he is talking to also uses ang to mean you. M. A younger person uses M to mean I. The older person they are talking to also uses M to mean you. Gon. A child or a much younger person uses gon to mean I when talking to parents or elders. The parent uses gon to mean you when addressing that child. Ming, body self, in intimate relationships like spouses or among very close friends, Ming can be used by either person to mean I or you, depending on the sentence structure and context.
Anh đang làm gì?
Em đang học.
Anh đói rồi.
Em nấu cơm cho anh nhé.
Anh đang làm gì?
Em đang học.
Anh đói rồi.
Em nấu cơm cho anh nhé.
Anh đang làm gì?
Em đang học.
Anh đói rồi.
Em nấu cơm cho anh nhé.
So again, Vietnamese pushes speakers toward relationship-based pronouns. And then we have the role and status words that also function as pronouns. Social roles such as teacher, doctor, etc. We actually do the same in Japanese most of the time. The next thing we run into is the fact that there are two words for we. You have the inclusive, chúng ta, which means you and me. And then you have chúng tôi, which is exclusive, me and others, but not you. The example would be, let's go now, so you're included. This compared to we are going now, you're staying. But Vietnamese is not alone in this area of the world and making this distinction. We also see it in Indonesian and Filipino. They also have two different words for we. One includes the listener, the other explicitly excludes the listener. So in Indonesian that would be kita, inclusive we, you and me. Kami, me and others, not you. For example, we are going now, including you. And we are going now, not including you. You're staying. In Filipino or Tagalog, tayo is the word for inclusive, and kami is exclusive. The same examples would be, we are going now, you're included. We are going now, but you're staying. Very interesting, in Tagalog and Filipino, they do use the pronoun kita, but it has a totally different meaning. It means I am you, and I do something to you or for you. You would use this pronoun when you say, I love you. I would say that Thai is the only real competitor when it comes to the complexity of pronouns. Thai also uses kinship terms more than it does the set terms for I and you. It does have terms for you which are mutually polite, like Vietnamese laxis, but still more common is kinship terms. And in Thai, you can also drop pronouns and use somebody's name or even use your own name, like Tim is going now, I can say, instead of I'm going now. But Vietnamese is less forgiving. Even when you say hello politely, you are forced to choose a pronoun and therefore a social relationship. So after studying over 50 languages, this is my conclusion. Vietnamese doesn't just have pronouns, it has a social system disguised as pronouns. Every sentence quietly answers the question, who are we to each other socially? And that's why for me, it is the language that has the most complicated pronoun system I've ever studied. But there are other aspects of Vietnamese that make it quite easy, like no tense, same in Thai and Chinese, etc., which I talk about in other videos. I do believe that the pronunciation of the language is quite complicated, more difficult than Chinese. The tones are more difficult than Chinese and more difficult than Thai, in my opinion. But if you haven't studied the language yet, give Vietnamese a try. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next video.
If you're passionate about languages and cultures, head over to polyglotdreams.com, where you'll find my memoir, A Life in 30 Languages. It's available in multiple languages, including dual language editions and versions with audio narration, perfect for learners who want to combine reading and listening for deeper study. In this memoir, I share my adventures in 99 countries to the date I wrote the book, along with insights on how to learn languages best, drawn from my own experiences and research as a professor of cross-cultural management. Whether you're a polyglot, a language learner, or simply curious about the world, it's a resource to inspire and inform. So don't forget to visit Polyglot Dreams, the link is in the description, to explore the memoir and expand your language horizon.